Hey everyone, Scott with the Scottman, and we are here to do not only a driving video, but a driving tour video today. We're back down in Wayne County, and we're going to be starting off the video by stopping at a red light. Never mind. Just have to slow down just a little bit. But we're going to be doing a driving tour of Canton, Michigan today, which is one of the western suburbs of Detroit. Yeah, right now we're going by a Walmart and a Sam's Club and a Home Depot over here at the corner of Ford Road and Lots Road. We're just to the east of I-275. And it's just a slow go, but not having to really stop at these lights for very long. But this is almost like a continuation of the Westland and Garden City driving tour video I did a few months ago. But this time we're going a little bit further to the west. So we're going to be driving all around the Canton area today. And up here, this is the interchange with I-275. And I know currently on I-275, they're doing a lot of road construction. I think it's like a 2, maybe even a 3-year-long project where they're putting down new pavement because it is well needed on that freeway because there's a lot of rough road on I-275, but thankfully we won't be going on that today. Once we get past I-275, we're going to be getting into a very busy area of Canton, probably the busiest stretch of any road in Canton. Because, yeah, on Ford Road, which is M153, between 275 and I'd say the next 2 or 3 miles, there's a lot of shopping areas. As a matter of fact, I think I read on the local news that they're planning to make some changes to the intersection here at Hagerty and Ford Road because this stretch here in this intersection with Hagerty is supposed to be very dangerous. It's supposed to be in terms of like accidents. It's like I'm having to do a lot of stopping so far, but any traffic lights I've had to stop at have been very quick. So I can't complain. But yeah, it's like you got a lot of different things. You got T-Mobile, Qdoba, Wendy's, Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin Robbins. There's also an IKEA, because I think there's only one IKEA in Metro Detroit, and the only one is off to the right. A lot of different restaurants: Olga's Kitchen, Chili's, KFC, Mod Pizza, Buffalo Wild Wings, also department stores like Marshall's, Michael's. See a sign for Pier 1 Imports, but I know they went out of business. Even a Chuck E. Cheese. And of course, with all these different shopping areas, you got a ton of traffic. Of course, it is a Saturday afternoon, so everybody's out because it is very cloudy out today. It's cloudy. My car thermometer is reading 35 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's really cold for late March. So it's convert that to Celsius, it's about maybe kind of like around 2 degrees, give or take a degree. Okay, had to stop for quite a bit here at Lily. And even more restaurants. Got Chipotle, Little Caesars, Potbelly. Even some more stores in there too. Hobby Lobby, Bye Bye Baby. Home Goods. Also, like I can see a GameStop, AT&T. Lazy Boy on the right side. There's also, yeah, Outback Steakhouse. I think when I was younger, I've even been to that Outback Steakhouse. So I don't go to chain restaurants very often just because I heavily promote local restaurants, but Outback is pretty good though. A lot of people in that right lane right now. Say we're at intersection with Morton Taylor right now. And it's like you have even more over here too. Petco, ABC Warehouse, Boston Market, Applebee's, Fresh Time, Farmers Market, Planet Fitness. Also got JCPenney, Target. But yeah, it's like the department stores and all that just continue and continue all through in here. Fridays, like there's a whole lot over here. Okay, approaching Sheldon Road, although I think this light's about to turn green. Yep. Yeah, even coming over here, even more shopping. Like Kohl's, you got Ulta, DSW. Also McDonald's, Comerica Bank. And I can't tell if it is or not, but yeah, there is a vegan restaurant I've been to for one of my restaurant tours a couple years ago. Like, I think I went to back in February 2020. There's supposed to be a really good vegan restaurant. I'm not sure if they're still open or not, but if they are, it's really good though. Oh, you met a Culver's off to the left. I see Meyer. So yeah, we're now approaching Canton Center Road. The wait shouldn't be too long for this light. But yeah, it's like Ford Road between 275, or especially Hagerty Road, all the way to Canton Center Road. Nothing but shopping and restaurants. But yeah, it's a big commercial area in Canton, I would say. Because yeah, once you get on this part of Ford Road, yeah, now we're starting to get away from the huge shopping area. Because Ford Road itself, we're not going to be, of course, going on this whole road, because this goes all the way out to M14, like east of Ann Arbor, like north of Ypsilanti. So we're not going to be going that far. However, I do have a video I did on M153 or Ford Road where I filmed it in its entirety. So I do have that uploaded on my YouTube channel for your viewing pleasure. And people right now are going 15 under the speed limit right now. The speed limit is 55 and they're going 40. Or actually, what I'm seeing, the car in front of me is going really slow. Oh, that's why looks like he's probably be turning at Beck Road. And that's good. Light just turned green, so should hardly have to wait at all, or for much at all. Oh yeah, just a little slow down. So anyway, for this driving tour, we're going to be going all around the city of Canton. Except for, I think, once we get toward the end of the video, we're not going to really be on Ford Road that much. Because what I'm planning to do for this first part of the I almost said restaurant tour, and I just had lunch. But for the first part of this driving tour, I'm going to be spending my time north of Ford Road and then working my way to the southern 2/3 of Ford Road. Although I generally not be going south of Michigan Avenue or Getty's Road, just because there's not really a whole lot to see down to the south of that part, going down to where like Van Buren Township is. But we should be getting close to the road I want to turn down onto. Not this road, but okay, yep. So I want to make a right turn onto Ridge Road. If we go another mile to the west, that would be getting out to like where Napier Road is, and that's like the border between Wayne and Washtenaw County. And of course, we'd be getting out of Canton Township. It's also not like Canton, but you can also call it Canton Township. Or there's a. Oh no, he's making a left turn, so we're good. We can make a right turn. But yeah, Canton has a lot of residential neighborhoods. Like, and of course, as you can tell out, once you get out here a little bit, there's still some open field. So like, there's a lot of development that's been going on in Canton over the recent years. As a matter of fact, I think this part of Ridge Road here used to be unpaved, because this is like, I think this was paved relatively recently, maybe, I'd like to say in the past few years or so. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, I'm going to try to avoid going on any gravel roads or dirt roads, just because we have seen, we saw some rain yesterday, I think even the day before that, and heck, even snowed this morning. It's late March, and we're still seeing snow, although as you can tell here, it didn't really stick or anything. But maybe the road's all wet. So what I will do is I'm going to be making a right turn onto Warren Road, because if I do continue north on Ridge, it does turn to a gravel road up ahead. And I believe there's a subdivision I do want to drive into shortly, because what I like to do with these driving tours is, especially for people who are looking to move to a particular destination, this gives a general feel of what some of the neighborhoods look like. Obviously, if I were to go into every single one, this would be probably like a 5-6 hour video. But I have to go into a few of these different neighborhoods just to get a good feel, and of course on these driving tours I get the comments where it's like, you drove by my house, or why didn't you drive by my house, things like that. But yeah, we'll go ahead and make a left turn here, and I think I could do it before these oncoming cars. Oh yeah, just have enough time. So turn down here on the Lyndhurst, and before I go into a lot of these neighborhoods, I like to check out the different home prices. Oh, make a right turn. This is Lyndhurst still. So like when I check sites like Zillow, for example, like a lot of the home prices, this is kind of an expensive neighborhood. The home prices are generally between $480,000 and $600,000. So you need a lot of money to live in this subdivision. But if you can afford it, it's really, really nice. Or get lucky and maybe someone will rent out a part of their house or their house on Airbnb or something. And then yeah, right here, this is turning into Wadebridge. And this road will take us right back out of the subdivision. But yeah, nice little subdivision. Because it's still very early spring, nothing is really grown in yet. So looks kind of pale still, but things will change relatively soon. But yeah, it's chilly and very windy out today, so yeah, not really many people outside today. And then yeah, this will take us back down to Warren. And once I get back onto Warren, I'll continue my way east for a little bit more. Yeah, very, very nice subdivision, I have to say. Okay, so we're back at Warren, and we'll make a left turn, and nobody's coming, so let's go. See, although the sun's not out today, but one positive thing, especially with doing these driving tours, is that I don't have to worry about sun glare. And at the same time, I don't have to get outside of the car and freeze myself to death. Alright, so we will make a left turn onto Beck Road. Which, yeah, funny enough, I was on Beck Road as well when I did the Wixom, Walled Lake, and Commerce Township driving tour video not too long ago. This Beck Road goes all the way up to the Wixom area, Wixom and Commerce Township. And heck, if I would have stayed on Warren to continue east, that would take me into Westland, but then Warren will take you all the way over into Midtown Detroit, and then continues over into the eastern side of Detroit as well, too. So it goes a long way. But I will say, I think the sub I drove through is a little newer, because the one on the right looks a little older, so the home prices are going to be a little bit lower than what we drove through. I'm planning to go through another subdivision in a little while that's going to have much more affordable home prices. So right now what we're about to do is we're going to be driving by a huge high school complex. Because off to the right, that is Plymouth High School. Because I think what I saw online, the northern 2/3 of Canton Township, or Canton, would be like the Plymouth Canton schools. Because you got three high schools off to the right in there. Of course, we just drove by Plymouth High School, which, yeah, they serve not only Canton, but also Plymouth. Because if you go to the north side of Joy Road, that turns into Plymouth, or Plymouth Township. Yeah, it's really interesting, though, how they have three high schools all next to each other. I'm curious how they decide how they do the districting for students in Plymouth and Canton. So anyway, yeah, Plymouth High School was, yeah, it's way off to the right there. You can't really see it because it's too far off from the road. Yeah, it's called the Plymouth Canton Educational Park. And then off to the right, that is Salem High School. It used to be called Plymouth Salem High School. How I know that is because my dad went to that high school. My dad went to Salem High School when he was a kid. And he used to tell me stories about how because he used to live off Joy Road when he was growing up, and I remember he told so many stories about, and then off to the right you got Canton High School. Because, yeah, my dad used to tell me all sorts of different stories about when he used to have to, in the snow, walk to Salem High School and then walk back for lunch, because I think he had to take care of my great-grandmother, which we used to call Nanny. Make a right turn onto Canton Center Road, and we're back into Canton again. So anyways, he used to go home to take care of her and then walk all the way back to the high school for the rest of his day. And then, yeah, Canton High School itself, yeah, it's more facing Canton Center Road off to the right. But yeah, very interesting how there are three high schools all in the same general area. And I don't even think we're going to be driving by any more high schools in the rest of this video. So I know a small part of Canton also is a part of like the Westland and Wayne and Westland schools. I think there's another school district too, like in the far southern part, like going down toward like Van Buren Township and Belleville. Okay, so to continue on Canton Center Road, we'll be making a right turn at this traffic light. We'll make a left turn that turns into Sheldon Center Road, which hooks over to Sheldon Road. I had to wait for the green arrow for that one. A lot of people on this road. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Once again, to this part of Canton Center Road, it's a 5-lane road. So it's a lot wider. And we're back at Warren Road again, but we're not going to turn on to Warren over here. over here, just got different residential neighborhoods. But yeah, from what I've heard, Canton is a really nice area to live in. But even different random businesses, I think even a couple of restaurants, even Marco's Pizza. Tandoori Korma, probably an Indian restaurant, I assume. Alright, so we'll make a left turn onto Hanford. And it looks like we'll have a little bit of a wait. Yeah, a lot of cars on Canton Road. I had to wait a little bit of time before I could even make a turn. Then we got Discovery Middle School off to the right. Yeah, nice little middle school there, I have to say. Yep, Plymouth Canton Community Schools. That's what I thought. So we're gonna stay on this briefly until we get over to Sheldon Road, which is that traffic light up ahead. We got a stop sign before that, though. Well, there's a couple people walking around today, and they do got like winter. I think they got winter hats on, so I can tolerate the cold a little bit more than if I were to walk around just with my Scottman895 hat. Which, yeah, speaking of my Scottman895 hats, like I've got several comments about people wanting to buy one. Which, more about that in a second. We're gonna be making our left turn to go north on the Sheldon Road. We'll take this back up to Joy Road, which is about another mile and a half. The Hanford Road is like halfway between Morton and Ford Road. Anyway, so yeah, the Scottman895 hat that you've seen me in my videos ever since I filmed the restaurant tour back in June, or back like early June. Yeah, it's currently only a one of a kind. So that, like, the hat is not. So I don't have any of these hats for sale or anything. So I don't have like any official merchandise, although it might be something I might want to talk with my friend Rachel about, because I know one of her friends had this hat made for me because it was a birthday present for my friend Rachel, and I may have to talk with her to see if it might be something we could consider making in terms of merchandise. I'd be curious if there'd be any people who would be interested in buying one. But it would be an interesting venture to run, just because it's like I've never run really a business before, but whereas more and more people are doing it these days. That's one thing I'd say that the pandemic did, is that it enabled a lot of people to consider starting their own businesses and run things from home or on the go. Okay, we gotta be careful. I think there's a pothole coming up here. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the bad thing about driving around Metro Detroit during the early spring, is that because you got a lot of fluctuating temperatures going above and below freezing, is that this is basically pothole season, so the roads can become death traps if you're not careful. Figure of speech in terms of death traps, not literal ones. It's like, yeah, that's that Sheldon Center Road I was telling you about earlier. And once again, I had to wait for a green arrow. Traffic's that bad. And yeah, that guy is in a huge hurry. It's like he practically... It's like, if it would have gone any faster, he practically would have been flooring it. But anyway, so we're back up at Joy Road. We're going to continue on Sheldon Road. to the north, that will take us back up toward like M14. Of course, going into Plymouth, and then eventually goes into downtown Northville. That's that same car again. I just heard that was practically flooring it. Yeah, this part of Joy Road is, yeah, pretty much just residential. Oh, there's gonna be a little bit of a wait. Because this guy's gonna have to wait for a bunch of cars to come. No, I gotta wait for a little bit. There were like several cars, including one that had to turn into the subdivision too. Yeah, you can see some of the puddles out on the grass over there is because of all the rain we've seen lately. Compared to this time last year, we've seen a lot more precipitation. Alright, so right here, we're going to make a right turn onto Morton Taylor Road. If you go left on Morton Taylor, that turns into Main Street, and that takes you into downtown Plymouth. Yep, so anyway, this is Morton Taylor Road, and I'm going to be taking this down to, or back down to Warren. I don't know what that car is doing. I don't see any turn blinkers on it. Alright, now I do. But yeah, Morton Taylor is just another little residential road. Or not residential road, but like a secondary road that serves like mainly residential neighborhoods. Although there was some small stores in a little plaza, the southeast corner of Morton Taylor and Joy. Okay, so now we're coming up to Warren. Oh, wait a minute. I was supposed to... I messed up. There was a subdivision I was supposed to drive into. But that's not a big deal. We'll just go in reverse. So what we'll do instead is we'll make a right turn onto Warren. Because the subdivision I wanted to drive into is over here, but I accidentally passed it on Morton Taylor. So we'll just go back the other way. So here's Hillsboro Drive. As you can tell, yeah, homes are a lot smaller compared to that first subdivision we drove through. But yeah, the home prices in here seem to be average between $260,000 and $350,000. So, yeah, definitely not as high, but ooh, some bumps in here. But of course, yeah, when I'm reading like home prices, it's just like an average. You're gonna still see some potential outliers. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going this way. So what we will do is we'll make a right turn onto Lombardy to go back out to Morton Taylor. So what I was originally wanting to do was to turn onto Lombardy off of Morton Taylor and then go over to Hillsboro and then go down to Warren and then continue east. For me, he's turning left, so I can make a right turn. So we're back on Morton Taylor again, but we're going to make a left turn this time at Warren to continue our way east. Okay, and then yeah, this time we'll have to wait a little bit because the light is still red. So now we're heading east on Warren once again. Well, once again, referring to when we were on Warren much earlier in the video. Anyway, that's some even smaller homes up to the right. It looks like that subdivision looks like everything's mostly single story. We'll make a left turn to go onto Lily Road. Unfortunately, it just turned red, so we got a little bit of a wait. Alright, so make a left turn here and going north on Lily Road. So we're going to go back up to Joy Road once again. Oh, they have a Jet's Pizza in there. So yeah, Jet's Pizza's, it's kind of somewhat of a national pizza chain that's out of Metro Detroit. I think the headquarters is in Sterling Heights, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they're also known for like their Detroit style pizza too. A little bit of a difference over here. You got some different like warehouses, industrial centers too, and there's even a small airport off to the right too. Because of the warehouses off to the right, you can't really see the like the little runway or anything. Or heck, even some of the hangars are too far away. Oh, you can see a little bit of the hangars to the right now. Yep, so once again, we're back at Joy Road, but we're making a right turn, so we just have to wait for traffic to clear. Which is not, there's a lot of cars, I think. Well, yeah. Or never mind, that car was making a left turn, so we're good. And yeah, it's like I was able to even see the runway now, although maybe not from this video. So yeah, we're still on the border of Canton on the right side and then Plymouth on the left. But yeah, a lot of the areas I feel like in the far eastern part of Canton, yeah, you got more in the way of like warehouses, industrial centers. So there's a pretty good mix of everything in Canton. Oh, they're practically crawling over the railroad tracks. Oh, I can see why. Yeah, it's very bumpy ahead. Like almost having to come to a complete stop. So I'm gonna need to hold on to my GoPro for this. Oh yeah. It's like that railroad crossing I went over on Beck Road in Wixom in my last driving tour. So this is Hagerty Road. We're going to be making a right turn and continue our way south. So Hagerty Road in this area, it's pretty much the same as what we were just seeing. This is like all like office complexes, warehouses, industrial centers. Not really anything in the way of residential neighborhoods. Okay, yeah, that crossing was not as bad. But yeah, I can't believe it's already the end of March already. Well, just about the end of March. As I'm filming this video, I will say March has flown by pretty fast. Although, would have loved to have done more in the way of like vlogs. So it's just been really cold lately, and the weather has not been as good this March compared to last year. I think last year March was very, very warm. And this is Warren Road again, and this time I think the right lane stays. So I need to get back over to this lane. And yeah, that's a huge complex over to the right. I'm trying to look for a sign to see what that is. Oh, Yazaki, North America. So it's Yazaki, I think, is a Japanese company. It's just the North American headquarters. Is this Hanford? Yes, it is. We're gonna go ahead and make a right turn. Yeah, for some reason I forgot to look at home prices for this part of Hanford, but that's alright. This is probably kind of the same as that other subdivision, that last subdivision we drove through, where it's like probably like 250 to 350,000. That's just a guess, though. If I would have stayed on Hagerty a little bit more, that would take me down to where IKEA is, back over at Ford Road. I figure it's like, let's just stay away from that intersection. Although I think I might be going back to that intersection toward the end of the video. So I don't want to get too excited. And yeah, that traffic light that's coming up ahead, which I'm not going to be catching the green light. Yeah, it's turning red now. That's going to be Lily Road. I'm going to be heading to the south on that road. So when we were on Lily earlier, we turned off of Warren to go north up to Joy Road. So we're about a half a mile south of Warren, but we'll make a left turn on the Lily and we'll take this down about a mile and a half. That was good. Didn't have to wait for too long of time before I make a turn. So we're back on Lily Road again, and you can see the traffic light up ahead for Ford Road. Just turned green. I realized it wasn't going 45, so will I get lucky to make this traffic light? That'd be amazing, but it's hard to say. Because, yeah, it's like, again, when we were on Ford Road earlier, this is a big shopping area. And I am lucky today to not have to stop at Ford Road. So now for the rest of this video, we're going to be staying south of Ford Road. So the fact that I did not have to stop at Ford Road in this, or stop at that light, I am really, really happy. And I don't know why I just thought of this, but it's like, if you ever seen the cartoon Rugrats back in the 90s, there was the, like, the knockoff of the gummy bears, or they're called the Dummy Bears. And these have that song, sing a happy, 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 happy song, sing a happy, happy. All right, that's enough. I don't want to annoy you. It's like, for some reason, when I was saying that, I all of a sudden thought of that song from Rugrats. But yeah, it's like, I used to grow up, I grew up to that cartoon when I was a kid. Because I was born in 1988, so of course, although I was technically born in the late 80s, I'd say I grew up more so in the 90s, so I'm technically consider myself a 90s kid. So I used to grow up to different cartoons such as Rugrats or Doug, Hey Arnold, Rocko's Modern Life. A lot of shows like that. Like the cartoons that were out before, or like, I'll tell you, anyway, all the cartoons that came out before SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay, so we're going to make a right turn onto Cherry Hill Road, and we will make our way to the west once things clear up or the traffic light turns green, whichever comes first. Which, I don't know, I almost need a green arrow here because, yeah, it was just the left turn lane on Cherry Hill, people be able to make a turn. So this is Cherry Hill Road. We drove on this for a little bit in the Westland driving tour video. Yeah, a little powered transmission plant off to the right there. That's why it's kind of like a big open field there. But then over here, just some pretty big residential neighborhoods in here. So we'll be on Cherry Hill for a few miles. Some small businesses in there. See like an H&R Block, which H&R Block I'm sure is really busy right now because everybody's has to get their taxes filed, or the other income taxes filed before mid-April for tax day. Thankfully I already took care of all that. But as I was saying, yeah, oh yeah, this is Sheldon Road again. But yeah, it's like I already had all my income taxes, or my tax returns already taken care of. I did that in early March. So yeah, I'm not one of those people who wait to the very last minute to file their income tax returns. But to be fair though, I'm not one of those people who does it the first day they get their W-2s or their 1099 forms. Because of course because in terms of income, of course I get the W-2 for my full-time job, and then of course the 1099 form, whatever it's called, that's for the Google AdSense that I get for the YouTube videos. And we're at Canton Center Road, and little fun fact, this is the true center of Canton. The reason why I say this is because Canton Center Road runs north and south through the middle of Canton, and Cherry Hill Road runs east and west through the center, or through the middle of Canton. So that's kind of like the center of Canton that we just drove through. Oh, that's a really nice middle school. That's very interesting. The style of the middle school looks very similar to Sarah Banks Middle School that we drove by in the Wixom, Wall Lake, and Commerce Township driving tour video. Must have been the same architect who designed that middle school. As we get out here, yeah, definitely tell the subdivisions have a lot more expensive homes and, yeah, a lot more spread out property, I would say. All right, back over to Beck Road, but we'll continue going west. So coming up in about a mile, we're going to be coming into what's called Cherry Park Village. Don't quote me on this, but it may have been its own village or just an unincorporated village at one point. And then I think if it was a village at one time, I think it got annexed into Canton. Again, I'm not sure if that's correct or not, so don't quote me on that or anything. But what's really cool, we're not going to see it up at Denton Road, which is up ahead, but once you get closer to Ridge Road, you're going to see like a little bit of, almost like a little downtown area. But first, we have to stop at this traffic light for Denton Road. Okay, so yeah, this is Denton Road here. Thankfully, we didn't have to stop for too long. Okay, so we are now officially in Cherry Hill Village. You can see all these different, looks like different apartments or townhomes being built. Yeah, I think these are townhouses or townhomes. Yep, even some new homes being built as we speak. I can tell they look really expensive though. But yeah, it's really interesting to see all this new development in here. And yeah, here is where we're starting to get into like the little mini downtown area. So you got these different businesses, these different small businesses in here. Even a pub. I think there's even supposed to be a theater in here too. And that's Ridge Road North. We'll be going down that way in a little bit. Ooh, very historic Cherry Hill School there. But we're going to make a left turn onto Ridge Road here. It says Concord Park Drive, but that's going to the right. This is Ridge Road. And fun fact, Ridge Road continues southwest going down into Washtenaw County, and it goes over to like the eastern side of Ypsilanti. However, we're going to be going to our next subdivision, which is to the left. Turn my turn blade around so the person behind me can pass me to the right. So this is Coolidge Street. So this is a part of Cherry Hill Village, and this is a really interesting stuff. Like, you got a lot of these homes with many different colors. This is not something you'd see in many subdivisions in Metro Detroit. Oh, it's starting to some snow flurries right now. It's cold enough to snow, but it's very light, not going to stick or anything. But yeah, this is really, really nice. And for some reason, when I was looking at the home prices on Zillow, there's not really a whole lot of listings. I was seeing things all over the place between $200,000 and $500,000. So it's like I can't even get an accurate number. But yeah, guys, look at the colors on some of these homes. But yeah, this is really interesting. I've never driven in here before. So I know it's like a lot of these, I don't know if they're considered townhomes or they're like multiplex. They gotta be like townhomes or something. So I've turned down Monroe Street. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. All these street names, it's like they're named after either U.S. presidents or different terms based off the founding days of the United States of America. You got these little small parks in here too. Because we're on Monroe Street, which of course is named after the 5th President of the United States, James Monroe. And then you have Roosevelt Street, which is what we're about to turn on now, named after either Teddy Roosevelt or Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Hancock Street, of course, named after John Hancock. Of course, like if you look at the Declaration of Independence, his signature is the biggest one. I think he's also the first one who signed the Declaration of Independence back in 1776. Fillmore, of course, named after President Fillmore. Harding Street, of course, Warren G. Harding. The continuation of Roosevelt Street. Although you could joke that that's named after Teddy Roosevelt, the other Roosevelt Street is named after FDR. You could joke like that, but it's hard to say. But yeah, you can always think that or something. And then Patriots Street. Of course, Patriots being the term for the colonists who fought against the British during the American Revolutionary War. And we're back at Cherry Hill once again. But this time we're going to be making a right turn to go north on Ridge Road. And yeah, here's that historic Cherry Hill School. We'll get a better look of it from this angle. But yeah, it's really cool. Alright, so we're now heading out of the Cherry Hill Village area. Another little historic building off to the right there too. Looks really cool. It wouldn't surprise me if that's not its original location though, but I could be wrong about that. Okay, so we got an interesting intersection here. To make a left turn, that continues as Ridge Road, which will take us back up to Ford Road. Make a right turn, that's Denton Road. Or we continue straight, and this turns into Salts Road. Gotta be careful though, because the traffic on northbound Ridge and then Denton Road, they don't have a stop. Okay, so now we're on Salts Road, and we'll take this a few miles to the east. Yeah, Salts Road runs halfway between, it runs parallel and halfway between Ford Road and Cherry Hill Road. Primarily just a secondary road serving residential neighborhoods. I did not even see a speed limit for this road, so I think the law in Michigan generally states that usually roads that don't have a speed limit, that's not like in a major city, usually is 55, but don't quote me on that one. Say though, the traffic on Salts Road is a lot nicer compared to Ford Road, which Ford Road can be a mess just with all the traffic for all the shopping areas along that road. So the fact I got that out of the way makes me a lot happier. So let's sing that happy song from Rugrat. No, we're not going to do that. I told you I wasn't going to do it, and I am going to stay true to my word. Although I could sing the song "Happy" by Pharrell Williams, but nah, I won't hurt your ears today. So what I'm planning to do next is I'm going to go up to Canton Road, which is the next traffic light up ahead, about like another 2/3 of a mile. And yep, looks like there's a new subdivision going in to the left. I don't know if it's going to be a subdivision or like for like homes, or it's going to be like condos or townhomes. Or it could be like what we're seeing off to the left. I'll just have to come back in a couple years and everything's built. Alright, and here is Canton Road, and we will make a right turn. Salts Road going easy here goes into a residential neighborhood. That's pretty interesting. Maybe we are going to be passing, because I know there's a hospital, like a small hospital around in here, or like a big medical center. But that might have been going back the other way, but I don't know. Although I should be over to the right turn lane, or not turn lane, but the right lane. I'm not turning at Cherry Hill Road, but I will be making a right turn in a little while. Yeah, good choice. A lot more cars in the left lane. Oh, Bush's Grocery Store, even another Jet's Pizza. But yeah, some good places to get some Detroit-style pizza. Of course, Jet's Pizza is more of a national chain. And of course, there's Buddy's Pizza. And there's also some even more local spots, too, like Shields Pizza and many other different places. I almost should do like a restaurant tour of some of the different places where you can get Detroit-style pizza. But I probably would need to go with other people, though. Because I can't eat a whole pizza alone. Otherwise, I'll need to be carried out on a stretcher. Alright, so we'll make a right turn. Oh, not here. Not just yet. At the Canton Historical Museum. That's pretty cool. Alright, here's where I want to turn. So this is Civic Center Drive. This is the Canton Municipal Complex. You got the police department in here. You got a library. The city center as well. Or like City Hall. think there's a police station in here too. I haven't seen any police cars yet, but yeah, there probably is. Yeah, I see an ambulance. So I think there's like I think there's a fire station in here too. At least for what I guess. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. This is the police department. Now I see police cars. I don't know what's in that puddle, so I better go around it. Okay, this is Heritage Park Road here. This doesn't really go to anything major other than a park, but I figure I'll drive back in here for a little bit. Oh, okay, this isn't a speed bump, but speed limit is 25, and like, you don't want to go too fast with the fact that we're near a police station. Because let's just say I don't feel like getting a speeding ticket today. Which, yeah, a little fun fact, because I'm 33 years old, about to turn 34 in a couple months. So I've had my driver's license for almost 18 years. I have not gotten a ticket for speeding yet, which is pretty good. So if this is Heritage Park, really huge park complex. You got all these different baseball fields and soccer fields, etc. Oh, even football fields too, according to that sign back there. So what we'll do is do I turn here? I'm trying to remember. No, I don't. That's just more of the park. But I'll turn down here to go back down Veterans Way. And yeah, there's even more to the park over here too. And I can see the Veterans Memorial too. That's a really nice park. And it's really nice to see that all the ponds around here are all unfrozen again. So that way it doesn't look like it's just a sheet of ice. Had some geese crossing the road here. Yeah, it shouldn't be too long from now that a lot of the geese will be having some of their babies. Yeah, this is a nice little complex in here, I have to say. Well, that's cool too, different walking and biking trails too. A wooden playground to the right. Okay, yeah, this looks like the hospital I was thinking of. There's a little small hospital off to the left there. And yeah, we'll make a left turn to go onto Summit Parkway to get back over to Canton Center Road. There's one truck coming, but alright, he's gonna clear by the time I make a left turn here. It's a true hospital. It might just be a big medical center, but I'm not 100% sure. So we'll make a right turn to Canton Center. And then Summit Parkway, which is what we were just on, if we were to continue straight on that road, that turns into Palmer Road, which goes to the eastern part of of Canton and then eventually out to Westland. But yeah, Canton is a pretty big city. It is. So I believe it's a perfect, or almost a perfect 6 square miles, because like when you do the math, it's 6 miles long to the north and south, and 6 miles wide to the east and west. So when you multiply 6 times 6, you get 36, and then when you and then take the square root of that, you get 6. So up to here is Getty's Road. We're gonna continue straight, however. And they're going pretty slowly, but not too much of a problem. And we're about to approach Michigan Avenue or US Highway 12, which is, I'd say, the other big highway in Canton. Well, if you excluding freeways, which is just be I-275. But yeah, Dick's Sporting Goods off to the right. I think another Home Depot. We'll make a right turn on to go on to Michigan Avenue. If we were to cross over Michigan Avenue, this turns into Belleville Road as it goes down to Belleville. We'll keep this going, but it's just turned green, because it becomes Belleville Road after you cross this intersection. But I think you go into Van Buren Township first. Oh, there's even a Ruby Tuesday. I didn't even think they were still around, because a lot of the ones I've seen have all closed down. But Michigan Avenue has a lot of different businesses and retail in here as well too, even a Bob Evans. Although I'd say that Ford Road is definitely busier in terms of retail traffic. But I'm not going to be showing Michigan Avenue a whole lot in this video, just because I have already filmed the video on US Highway 12. Got PetSmart, another Arby's, another Target, and another Kohl's. But yeah, that's really interesting that there are 2 Targets and 2 Kohl's in Canton. That's how you know that Canton's very populated, when you have 2 same store department stores in the same city, and that's only like in a 6 square mile city. So I'm gonna be staying on this all the way till I get over to Denton Road, which is probably about like another mile from here. That light back there was Beck Road. But yeah, we're only about a mile and a quarter to the north of where Willow Run Airport is. Yeah, they're building something over there. Not sure what though. But again, I'll have to come back in a couple of years or something and I can find out. Okay, so we're going to make a right turn onto Denton Road, so that way we can stay in Canton. Because if we were to go south and southwest of this intersection, we'd be getting into Van Buren Township. the diversity. I saw a country flag on one of the homes to the left. It looked like the flag of Iran, if I'm not mistaken. Because I saw the emblem that was in the center of the flag that resembled like the one I've seen for Iran. Because it definitely did not look like the flag for Mexico or anything. Here's Getty's Road again. Ooh, it just turned green. It's my lucky day. Getty's Road, if we were to take that west, that'll take you all the way into Ann Arbor. Like, Getty's Road ends up all the way over into the University of Michigan. As I think of other areas to do different driving tours, yeah, there's still other areas I do need to drive into. And I think one of the roads I want to turn down is not going to be too far from here. Not there, though. Yeah, there's one more. Well, I think there's a couple more neighborhoods I'm gonna be driving through in this video. Another big park out to the left. Oh, a lot more, like a lot of soccer fields, like numerous soccer fields. So I'm sure, like, especially on summer weekends, there's probably a lot of soccer tournaments that go on in there. All right, so we'll make a left turn onto Proctor Road. Yeah, you can see more of the soccer fields to the left, too. Oh, gotta be careful. It's like not much going on this road, yet the speed limit is only 35 miles per hour. Yeah, where we are right now, we're about like less than a mile to the south of Cherry Park Village. So we're almost back to where Cherry Park Village is. Alright, that looks like it's unpaved, so I'm going to go ahead and make a left turn here. So this is Canton Boulevard. This is called the Toll Brothers at the Hamlet. So this is a newer subdivision that's been built rather recently. I think there's some homes that are still being built. So we're in for a nice little treat today because we're driving through a brand new subdivision, something I don't really do very often in these driving tours. They're so new that I'm not really seeing a lot of home prices on Zillow in here. Although, for the ones that are listed, which is the minority, they're no less than $500,000. And then we'll make a left turn to Taneytown Road. And that's very interesting. This road is shown on Google Maps to go back up to Proctor Road, but there's a house there. So Google, you need to get your stuff together, man. But yeah, this is a really nice subdivision, though. So this is Federal Boulevard. We'll make a left turn to go this way. If we were to go Federal Boulevard the other way, that'll take us over to Ridge Road. What's my battery? I'm down to 25%. I think I might be able to stretch this video long enough for this battery. So I know this video is gonna be, these driving tour videos can be pretty lengthy because they easily go well over an hour. But I still think this is gonna be shorter than the last one I did, which the last one I did almost went to 2 hours, just because there is so much to cover. Where this one is a little bit less. So this is Town Center Road. You got this little park area that's in the center here, even a tiny play area for the kids off to the left. And we'll turn down Lansdowne Road. This will take us back over to Denton Road. Yeah, over here, it looks like this has been in a little bit longer. Because I'm not really seeing as many homes, or hardly any homes being, or new ones being built over here. Look, it looks like everything's gone in already. But like that very first subdivision we drove through in this video, if you can afford to live in here, it's like you got a nice neighborhood. But yeah, the homes in here are way out of my price range, and not only that too, but it's like the only way I'd be able to reside in here is if I was lucky enough that there was an Airbnb listing for a reasonable price or something. Try I could live in here for like a month. Even so, the Airbnb listing's probably be pretty expensive though. And that's if there is one. Alright, we'll make a left turn to get back onto Denton Road. So now we're back on what we were on just a little bit ago. So yeah, that was basically called the Hamlet. And it appears that park again that had all those different soccer fields. Okay, so now with this video, we're gonna start making our way back over to the east side of Canton, or the southeast side of Canton, because we spent a lot of time in the southwestern quadrant of Canton. So here's Proctor Road again. If we were to continue north, that would basically be Cherry Hill Road. So over on this side, this isn't Proctor Road. This is Central Park Drive. And for any homes that are along this road, they're going to be generally between $550,000 to $650,000. This will be the last neighborhood we'll be driving through in this video, unless there's an emergency. Yeah, compared to the Hamlet, yeah, There's some good property with these homes. I wouldn't, not necessarily in terms of like acreage, but at least some yard where you can easily have a barbecue. A barbecue or a picnic. This road, although it's a residential neighborhood, this will take me back over to Beck Road. This is a nice little subdivision. They even have some different walking paths in here too. Oh, okay. I think I see some. I see some. Looks like golf courses too, or a little golf course, maybe. Yeah, it's kind of sad that the sun's not out in this video, but I look at it this way, less sun glare when I'm driving, especially to the south. Oh, there's somebody outside right now going for a little jog. Yeah, look at my car thermometer. The temperature has not changed since I started this video. Oh yeah, you can tell how cold it is when he's jogging with gloves on. Yeah, I don't know if that is a golf course or not. It could be. Yeah, this is like the end of Central Park Drive or Boulevard. And then we'll make a right turn onto Beck Road, and the coast is clear, but not for too long, so I better get moving. Yeah, that is a golf course because I just saw a bunker. Okay, my battery's at 19%, but I think I might be able to stretch this. It's amazing that I filmed that Q&A video that I did just a little while back. That was like 40 minutes of almost non-stop talking, and I did not drink a sip of water, which that's pretty impressive, given the fact that when I do these videos, I'm always drinking water. Just to keep my throat moist. And I'm going to be making a left turn onto Getty's Road, and this is good timing because the light just turned red, but we get a left turn or left green arrow to go left. Well, they're clearing some trees. Looks like probably to build a new home. Yeah. Too small of a lot to build a subdivision, but nice enough size to build a nice house. And yep, they are going like 10 under the speed limit right now. And there's even a mobile home park out to the left there too. Now we're going 15 under. so slow unless they're going to get ready to turn at Canton Road. Oh yeah, at least a couple of cars are. And unfortunately, because they went so slow, I'm getting stuck at a red light. Thanks a lot, people. Okay, so continue past Canton Road. So now we're going to enter the southeastern part of Canton. So Getty's Road ends up over back at Michigan Avenue, but over like where Sheldon Road is. But we're not going to be going on to Michigan Avenue for the rest of this video. And yeah, up ahead I can see one of the landfills that are in the general area. So we'll be making a left turn to turn left onto Sheldon Road. And we can safely go. Oncoming traffic has to stop as well, so it was safe to turn there. So we're heading back to the north on Sheldon Road. We'll be on this for maybe a couple miles or so. Yeah, even the southern part of Canton has some open spaces as well too. Bumpy. Ooh, big time bump at that bridge. Okay, this one looks a little bumpy too. I'm gonna slow down for this one. So because of that, I had to go 10 or even 15 under the speed limit. Gasp. And this stop sign here, this is Palmer Road. We'll continue about another 1.5 miles to the north. So I'm going to take this up to Salts Road. Yeah, I feel like for the rest of this video, I'm going to be doing a lot of wiggling around. I'm seeing some more residential neighborhoods. Don't have to worry about the school speed limit because it's a Saturday. That's an elementary school there. Oh, there's Proctor Road again. So it becomes Proctor Road over this part. Road. Yeah, look at my GoPro battery. It's down to 12%. There's a good there's still several more roads I need to drive down. So there's a possibility I may have to stop to change my battery again. small park just past off to the left there. And here is Salts Road. So we will go ahead and make a right turn here to head east. We're going to head it back over to Lily Road. But we'll take Salts to get over there. Again, like a half mile to the north of here, that's Ford Road. And I'm trying to stay off Ford Road whenever possible. I haven't filmed the driving tour in Canton yet, but yeah, I definitely need to do this sooner or later. But yeah, I think I was trying to say this earlier, but there's other different areas around Metro Detroit I need to do driving tour videos of. Like I've gotten different suggestions. Like one's like Brownstown Township, Flat Rock, that area. But here's Morton Taylor Road, and another little small park. Like other ones in Wayne County. There's also Dearborn Heights. There's Wayne and Inkster. There's also Van Buren Township in Belleville. I almost should do a new one for Livonia, because I think the Livonia driving tours might be the oldest one I've done, and that's not even that comprehensive compared to what I'm doing now. Stretch this a little bit, maybe. Because I'm going to be making a right turn onto Lily here. Yep, here we go. Which, yeah, this is kind of deja vu again, because I was on this part of Lily earlier. But this time we're going to make a left turn to go east on Cherry Hill. And we're having to go on a green arrow, but thankfully a green arrow, and we don't have to wait a long period of time to make a turn. So there's, come to think of it, yeah, 8% battery left. I think I can just make this work. What we'll do next is we're about to come up to the traffic light for Hagerty Road. If we were to make a left turn on Hagerty Road, about another mile to the north, we'd be back up to Ford Road, which is primarily, I think, just residential neighborhoods. And I think there's even like a Lifetime Fitness up there too, that sits between Hagerty and 275, which Cherry Hill goes over I-275 little bit to the east here. You can see the bridge for it. So it's like we're not missing a whole lot if we were to go the other way. Hagerty Road generally runs parallel with I-275. So let's just say if there was really bad traffic on I-275, especially right now with the road work they're doing, this can be used as a little detour. Ooh, just made that traffic light. And funny enough, so imagine if I would have stopped at that traffic light for an elementary school that is not even in service for the weekend. So what I'm planning to do to conclude this video, so I'm going to end up back over at Michigan Avenue and I-275. It's like the southeastern corner of Canton. I'm going to make a left turn up ahead onto Palmer Road. I'm going to take that over to Lots Road, which Lots Road is kind of almost the eastern edge of Canton, like just to the west of the border with Canton and Westland. And I'll take Lots Road down to Michigan Avenue, and that's kind of be around the area where I'm going to end the video. But I have to wait for this light to turn green first, which is going to drain my battery, unfortunately. Okay, we'll make a left turn onto Palmer Road. Another Jet's Pizza. That's three at least for the Canton area. And we're going over I-275. It's like there's like a very small strip of Canton that's on the eastern, that's to the east of I-275. So I didn't really get to show a whole lot of that, but not really a whole lot to see along Lots Road other than just residential neighborhoods. This Lots Road to the north just takes you back over to Ford Road and also Cherry Hill. But we'll make a right turn to go down to Michigan Avenue, and I'm getting a low battery warning on my GoPro, so I don't know if I were to stop recording if it's going to do some weird things. So even if I have to stop at a traffic light or something, I may have to keep it going. Yep, 4%. So I'm just going to get this video in on this battery. But yeah, this is going to be like an hour 35 or maybe close to hour 40 minutes, but still a little shorter than the last video. But yeah, nice little park system along Lots Road here. You got a pretty nice golf course. Okay, I think this is mainly just a golf course. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to be coming up to Michigan Avenue in less than half a mile. Once I make a right turn to Michigan Avenue or Highway 12, I'm going to be almost right at I-275, and that's where I'm going to be ending the video. So I'm going to slowly start concluding the video here. So I hope you enjoyed this driving tour of Canton, Michigan. We've covered many areas of Canton. So you have a huge mix of residential areas, a lot of retail, restaurants, some little small industrial parks, warehouses, even a little small airport. But yeah, Canton is a very nice area to live in, I have to say. Alright, so here is Michigan Avenue, and once I get onto that, as I was saying, I'm going to get ready to conclude the video, as I'll be getting onto I-275 off camera. Alright, so hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that subscribe button to come along and join me for the venture, and don't forget to click that notification bell so that way you know when a new video goes live. Well, thanks for watching, and this is Scott with the Scott Man signing out here from Canton, Michigan.